For those of you that have joined us tonight, thank you so much for coming. I know after a long week of Zooming and connecting and being online, taking another hour out of your evening is exhausting, even if, we'll be here next week. But I do really appreciate it. And I'm really excited to have, in conjunction with Adi and Ms. Anshul, our 6 alumni from different classes from Woodstock, here to just share their experiences and to discuss about their time at Woodstock, after Woodstock, and everything in between. So we'll do a quick little introduction of all the, all of us here and the alum, and then we'll go into breakout rooms where everyone can ask questions and connect. And as more people join, we'll throw them into the breakout rooms. So we'll be in the breakout rooms for about 20-25 minutes, and then we will come back to the main rooms for some final questions. If we do have a small group tonight, we will try to end early. We are recording this, so we'll post it on the Woodstock College Resource webpage virtual library, so our community can take a look. So once again, thanks everybody. For those parents that are joining that I haven't met, my name is Deneene. I'm the head of college counseling at Woodstock, and I'm joining from 1 year at Woodstock before this year, and then about 5 years with the University of Guelph. So I've worked on both sides of the desk, as they like to call it, before this year. So thanks again for joining, and I'll pass it on to Anshul, Adi, and then we will move into our intros from our alum.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Anshul, and I recently joined Woodstock, as all of you know by now, and I'm the college counselor working with Deneene. And before joining Woodstock, I was at the Doon School, which is where I worked for about 7 years. And thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, for the parents who have joined us, my name is Adi, and I work in the alumni office. And I've been working in the residences before at Woodstock School. So most of the alumni joining us here today, I know you all. We've been in the dorms together, and I'm so glad that you guys took some time out to join us for this session, which would be very valuable. I'm glad that Anchal is recording this so that we can make it available for other students and parents as well.
Awesome. Thanks a million. All right, so we'll start with our intros. We will start with the most recent graduating class that's with us. So Khaled, would you like to start with your introduction?
I think Rohan is newer than me.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
I'm a 19, so yeah, I am a little newer. Though I think I'm the same age as Khaled, but it's a separate matter. I'm Rohan M, to distinguish myself from Rohan K. Woodstock class of 19, go Imperium. Way better than Victa. That's at you, Khaled.
Sure.
I'm currently a rising sophomore at Dartmouth College. Rising because I haven't yet taken a class in sophomore year. I'm majoring in environmental studies modified with government and minoring in public policy. So looking for a potential career eventually in environmental policy. On campus and off campus, involved in many political and environmental things. I was an organizer for the Bernie Sanders presidential primary campaign. Then I was subsequently organizing fellow for the New Hampshire Democrats. I've also been involved in many environmental projects, both at college and at Woodstock, and now afterwards. I'm currently an intern for a local environmental group. I'm a research and writing intern, so I've been conducting research and interviews to develop reports to assist our environmental legal team to combat government development projects in protected areas, which is trying to push right now because it's relatively easy to do so. So that's for me. I'll pass it along to Khaled.
Hello, everyone. My name is Khaled. I'm from Syria. I graduated Woodstock in 2018. I'm currently studying in Bremen, Germany. I'm majoring in robotics and AI and minoring in electrical engineering. I'm currently in my senior year. Also currently doing an exchange in Aberdeen. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you.
To the next.
Now I'm going to go ahead and confuse again, even though we just talked about this before everyone joined, who was in what year, so don't yell at me.
2014. You got it. You got it.
Oh, we can't hear you, Asma. No problem. Maybe while you're connecting, we can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
My name is Asma Ebadi. I was born and raised in Afghanistan from Kabul, and I graduated from Woodstock in 2014. And then I studied international politics and security studies at Georgetown School of Foreign Service. While I was at Georgetown, I was selected as an undergraduate scholar at Georgetown Center for Security Studies, and I worked as an editorial assistant at the Georgetown Journal of International Affairs and the U.S. Afghan Women's Council. And I did a couple of internships here and there at the UN and Education First. Right now, I work at the U.S. Institute of Peace with their Afghanistan program. My work in general focuses on peace building and conflict resolution. And at the moment, we are supporting the peace process in Afghanistan and the peace negotiations between the Afghan government and the Taliban. So that's briefly about me. And in my free time, I do running and hiking, and I really, really enjoy reading poetry. So if you're into that stuff, you can reach out to me.
Thank you so much. On to Rohan K. Oh.
Yeah. So my name is Rohan Kumar, raised in Toronto, Canada, joined Woodstock in grade 7. I graduated class of 2014, and from there moved to Ottawa, Canada, where I joined business school at the University of Ottawa. Fast forward a few years, today yikes. Sorry, I was getting a call. It's still in the workday for me in my time zone. So fast forward to today, I'm founder and CEO of a software company in Canada called Finavio, and we automate a bunch of the back-end work on commercial banks. But of course, still have my day job in investment banking. I'm looking to quit that soon as we raise capital. Sort of following up on Asma's point, a little bit about what I do in my free time. I'm sure you can see some of my best friends back there. We've got a few musical instruments. I picked that up in Woodstock. Woodstock really was huge for music for me. But otherwise, love playing football. I spent a lot of time with friends. You know, of late it's been a bit challenging, but a lot of time hiking and outdoors as well.
Tariqa and Jerry are last two.
Jerry, do you want to go first, or should I go?
Go ahead, Tariqa.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tariqa. I'm from the class of 2011. I did my undergrad at McGill University in Montreal, Canada, and my master's in Carleton University in Ottawa. Both of them were in political science. I currently work as a freelancer, as a consultant with various development, like NGOs and stuff, based in India right now. Also work with a couple of projects based in Canada in post-secondary education, in development, in gender, and I'm also one of the founding board members of the Martha Farrell Foundation, which is a gender rights organization based in Delhi.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm a part of the class of 2011. Yeah, and I think as Tariqa mentioned, yes, we are classmates, and yeah. So I spent my university degree here in India, here in Bangalore. I did my bachelor's in hotel management, and that's when I trained as a chef. And after that, I decided to leave. After I finished that, I decided to get into the line of music education, and that's what I'm currently doing at the moment. And I'm teaching music in a school, and apart from that, I'm a part of 3 different groups, 2 startups, and one biking crew. Yes, I'm a biker by passion, and and one of my startups is it has to do with food and making food for the poor and distributing it to local communities across Karnataka and the city of Bangalore. Then my second startup is along with another classmate of ours. I don't know how many of you know Ash Bansal, who has opened up a concept called Cabin in the Woods, which is probably a very rare concept here in India. So so I've been helping him out with that startup here in Bangalore. And so apart from that, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thanks so much, everyone. We also have Dr. Cook here, Kuti here as well. So saying hellos from the admin team. And I think at this point, we will jump into the breakout rooms. Ms. Anshul, who's also our college counselor, as we mentioned, she will be manning the Zoom logistics, and Adi and I will be joining to moderate each of the breakout rooms. So we will see you in a few in the breakout rooms to start having our interactive discussions, ask questions, and just to connect on a deeper level about the experiences of our alumni. So we'll see you all in the breakout rooms shortly.
Wonderful. So I've opened the breakout rooms. You can just click on the breakout room and join the room that has been assigned to you.
Back on the main session now.
The rest of my group is just finishing up, so they'll be joining shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Welcome back, everybody. Hi, everyone else. Awesome. I'm glad we're all back together. Thanks for joining. I hope the other breakout session was riveting and you got into some really great testimonies and conversations. We thought we'd bring everyone back into one group so that we can continue the panel session together. And yeah, so if there are any questions for our alumni from our participants, and please feel free to go ahead and ask. You can type it in the chat or you can ask verbally. I have lots of questions and I'm not shy to ask them. So I'm going to go ahead and start us up. So a couple questions we asked in our breakout room were about the experience at Woodstock, anything that they would tell their younger Woodstock self. We started to talk about the experience of our Scholars for Peace and their journeys going forward. But something I think that all of our alumni, scholars or students of Woodstock or both could answer is, how did you choose where to go when you left high school? I think all the students here with us are seniors, so they're in that place right now where they're trying to determine what country is the best, what school is the best. Many have mindsets of there's only 150 schools in the world and they're all in America. But I would really love for you all to, yes, I know, Asma, I saw your face. So I would love for you all to just talk about how you made that final decision when you got your offers, or how you created your shortlist. And also, how important is the name of the institution that you're going to? And if you can really share your experiences in that would be excellent.
I can start. We kind of talked about it in our breakout room, but I had basically applied to the US, Canada, and the UK. I didn't do too well in the US. I got into just one school, and I got into all my schools in Canada, and I got into 4 out of 5 in the UK. I kind of decided on Canada because it was a place where I could stay on after I finished my education. So Canada has a 3-year open work permit for anyone who does their undergrad from Canada, from a Canadian university. So, and it's an open work permit. You don't need a job offer when you get it. So you can get the work permit right after you graduate. You can find a job afterwards, and it's there for 3 years. And obviously, if you're looking to migrate, that's a really good option. As opposed to the US and UK, which pretty much just kick you out right after you're done. So that's kind of what I went with. And then within Canada, I chose McGill because it was a good university. At the time, it was the best in Canada. My brother had gone there. He had had a good experience. It was relatively cheaper compared to other institutions in Canada, and I could finish my degree in 3 years as opposed to 4, so I could save a lot of money. With regards to the name of the institution, it kind of helps you maybe get your first job. Um, it'll it'll help you in grad school applications if that's what you're looking for. If grad school's not a thing, I'd not even consider it. Um, but beyond that, like 10 years after you graduate from your undergrad, it really doesn't matter where you graduated from. So it's kind of more about the networks you make and the connections you make during that time. So if you're not really taking advantage of that, there's no point in going to a big name school. So yeah, but again, if you're applying to grad school, if that's something, if you want to stay in academia, name is something you should really consider, I would say.
I wonder if I can jump in with a more metaphorical approach to explaining how I picked it. Now, I'll keep it brief because I went into detail in the last room, doesn't matter. 2 metaphors. One is a bike, second is an umbrella. A bike. So you can either read how to ride a bike for 4 years, or you can get on the bike and you can do it, right? And how that translates to picking a university is picking an environment where you're not only learning how to do what you want to do, but you're actually living it, right? And you can actually build on that. From my perspective of doing a finance program with a big perspective on entrepreneurship, I wanted to have the most out of classroom learning I could in a finance professional setting, as well as starting businesses, right? So that's the bike thing. You want to be able to jump on that bike from day one. Second is the umbrella. And I love this metaphor because I heard this in Parker Hall in my senior year from the principal. Dr. Long at the time said many things, like Woodstock, universities like an umbrella, is no good to you if you keep it closed, right? So it doesn't matter what the name of it is, or if it's bigger or smaller. If you open it up, that's when you pull the full value out of it. So going out and using effort to go and maximize your value in that university will take you farther than just the name of the university ever could, right? Just at a high level. But of course, tuition makes a difference as well. And that was a big, cost was a big deciding factor for me.
For me as well, it was the cost as the main factor, as well as some political reasons not to go to the US, because some stuff happens. But also in regard for the name of the university, I think, at least in Europe, it doesn't really matter where you do your undergraduate. Whether if you want to go for your master degree, the universities don't really care where you came from as much as what you have taken, what was your research about, your recommendation letter, all of that. As for jobs, they also don't really give us your transcript or what university you came from. They give you certain tasks and you have to do it in order to get an interview. And there's a process for it. You don't have to come from a specific university in order to get a certain job.
Guess I'll jump in.
Just like hopping off of. Okay.
Add to what everyone else said so far. I think more than the name of the university, if you know what you're studying, look into the programs, the classes that they offer, and the environment of the university or the college, and the extracurricular activities. And if, for example, for my major, politics, international politics and security studies, the reason initially I was at Connecticut College, and the reason why I was at Connecticut College was because I was a peace scholar at Woodstock on full scholarship, and I needed full scholarship to get into college. So I actually listed out all these colleges that would give me full ride. So I didn't have a choice. I couldn't go into a place that I liked because the chances of getting scholarship was very low. So I had to go to this place that I could get full ride, which I did. And then I got into Connecticut College, I studied there. And then I was like, hold on, why am I here just because they're giving me full ride? It was a great college, but not very diverse. They didn't have a lot to offer for my major. That's when I transferred to Georgetown University, where I was in Washington, D.C. I could do internships at the same time as I was studying. So, and again, I think I mentioned this in the breakout session that my college counselor was like, no, don't apply. You're not going to get scholarship. It's impossible, especially transferring as a junior and as an international student. But then I got accepted and I got full ride from Georgetown, and it was they rarely do that, but it's not impossible. So I did it, and then I studied at Georgetown, and I took all these classes that I had seen on their website that I was extremely excited to take. And I did internships at the same time as I was studying. So really look into the environment, the extracurricular activities, the clubs on campus, and again, the internship opportunities outside, and doing research with your professors, which is very important. So,
I have a question about Georgetown.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of applying there. So I was wondering if you get a lot of internship opportunities in DC, as undergraduate students.
Many, countless.
And whether their economics program, if you know, is a good one.
Yeah, for sure. They actually, organizations and firms and private and public firms, they actually come to Georgetown to recruit undergraduate students.
Okay.
Starting
I was just
freshman
wondering.
year. Yeah, you have career fairs literally every month where these people come in, and just like the college fairs, they come in and they have these tables, they give you information how to apply, and they literally come to recruit from campus at Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so these are the things that I was basically referring to.
Yeah, that's one of my considering factors while applying to college, is internship opportunities and stuff. So I was thinking of applying to Georgetown.
For sure, yeah. Slightly more difficult for international students because they require sponsorship, but not impossible. I was an international, and I had many international friends. They got internships in Wall Street and in the government, not in the government, but in international NGOs inside DC, outside of DC, in New York. So definitely full of opportunities.
Thank you.
Do we have time to also answer that question? Do you want to move on? Deneene? Is she there?
I'm not sure if you, go ahead. You have time. We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. So just hopping off that, as I think that as someone who's really obsessed with big name schools, when I first came to Woodstock, I have a good background to answer this. Like when I first came to Woodstock, I gave my college counselor a list of 25 schools, almost all of which were reaches, and included 7 of the 8 Ivy League schools. Just to show you how obsessed I was with big name schools. Like I do attend an Ivy League school now, but honestly, this school would not be the school I would think I would be attending back when I first arrived at Woodstock. I think that really what changed my perspective is that as I went through Woodstock, as I started researching schools, I building up what Asma said, you really start to want to get a school that prioritizes the things that you're interested in. So for example, some of the schools on my list, like Columbia, like Penn and Cornell, these are great schools, but they're very large schools, very little undergrad attention. And as someone who came from Woodstock and loved Woodstock and the close personal attention you get from your teachers, and someone who obviously didn't want to be taught by TAs going to expensive school, I came to realize that those schools weren't really for me. And a school that quickly rose through my list was Dartmouth, because it was a small undergraduate focused college, one of the only ones in the Ivy League. So it had a good name, not as big as probably as Columbia or Harvard or something, but it had enough of a name recognition that I came to realize for the careers that I was interested in, that it would have enough prestige for me. But it also was small and undergraduate focused. So at Dartmouth now, all of my classes are taught by professors, not TAs. Most of the classes are small. I get really close with my professors. It's also a relatively remote college, which is sort of like Woodstock, which means there was a great community on campus, which I really found out through my Woodstock experience that I really prioritized and I really found out was important for me to flourish. So all of those factors led me to Dartmouth instead of some of the other bigger name schools that used to be on my list. Also, being able to go abroad, being able to go for foreign study is bigger at Dartmouth than most other schools, and undergrad participation in research is much easier to do at Dartmouth than most other schools. So all these factors led me to go to Dartmouth rather than many of the other schools on my list. So I applied early decision to Dartmouth and got in. So I think that lesson should carry on to all of you. Don't worry so much about the name of the school. It only matters to an extent. Go to the school that has the things that you're interested in, that focuses on the kind of experience that you want. The name brand of the school really isn't as big as what you do at that school. Like I know at Dartmouth, I'll have a much easier time getting research positions and perform better in classes because I get personal attention. not everyone needs this. This is what I need personally. But I think that'll matter a lot more to when I apply to graduate school and to employers than if I went to a school with a bigger name, but not the kind of experience that I was looking for. So that's just what I.
Jerry, do you want to close us out on that topic? We're just reaching the hour mark. And so if you want to close us out, we can put any other questions in the chat. If parents have any questions, yeah, feel free to put them in the chat. But Jerry, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was when we were in our breakout rooms, I was just mentioning to seniors that I mean, I moved into an Indian college and Indian university, and there was a big change that I had to face because for me, because I grew up in Woodstock, and for me, it's a very big change for me because I've never been to any other school or any other setup. So from moving from the Woodstock mentality to an Indian college was probably the toughest thing for me. And I was telling our fellow seniors that it took me almost 3 years of my university life to actually kind of get used to kind of blend in and just be open to a new culture and new diversity. Because like I was mentioning to them, was that going into an Indian college, you're actually going into a very conservative thinking bubble, rather, and I think that was something we had to fight. I mean, I had to fight, and it took me a long time to get used to that. So, I mean, when I was at Woodstock, I did apply to a lot of universities, and but somehow it didn't play out for me because of financial aspects. Because both my mom and dad are teachers at Woodstock, so it didn't work out. It didn't work out for me back then. So anyway, I mean, I didn't see that it was so bad to studying in Indian college. It's just that I didn't know if I would adapt to an Indian college because the mentality is a lot more different than what I was brought up in here over at Woodstock. So, but then I think there was I mean, towards my 4th year of college, I began to see and realize that, I had to let go of my Woodstock mentality and say, okay, like, can I accept new cultures and new way of thinking? I mean, not necessarily do I have to let go of my Woodstock mentality, but at least it's there. I know it's always there. It'll always be there. But how do I embrace the change here? It is tough, but eventually it kind of. I mean, if I look back now, I'm just thinking, okay, I'm so glad that I went through whatever I went through because I think it's made me who I am today because I'm a lot more accepting of new cultures, and even if I come across a conservative person, I'm saying, okay, that's cool, that's who you are. It doesn't mean that I look at you any different, and for me. To come to that kind of thinking, I thought about where that conditioning came from, and that came from Woodstock, is being open and being accepting of different people and different ideologies, and I think that is something which I have learned over the years being apart from Woodstock. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really grateful to have heard all your experiences and your stories, and also really grateful for Zoom and the fact that we can record this because I really hope that the rest of our cohorts will be able to take advantage of your nuggets of wisdom and experience as they journey through the college process, but also prepare to leave Woodstock well. And that's something that we do want to talk to our kids about and intend to, because we recognize the beauty of Woodstock and what it's done for all of you. We've seen it in your testimonies, but what it can do for our current students. Any last little nuggets or pieces of advice, 30 seconds that you would leave for the students that are here, the parents that are here, but also those that will watch this recording a little later?
I just want to say, get on the Woodstock Alumni Connect platform. I have literally met 2-3 people in DC via that platform, and they are like career diplomats and, really great people. They're willing to help you. Woodstock is always there. That's one of the things that I want to say, and really take good use of this opportunity. So definitely get on the Woodstock Alumni Connect platform. Super helpful.
I'm going to adapt a quote from the Avengers, okay? Woodstock is more than just a place, it's a people. It's a magic you take with you no matter where you go. Even after grad, it'll hurt that you're leaving it, but once you connect with another Woodstocker, no matter where you are, you're going to feel that magic again. It's not just a place, it's a people.
I would just like to say that if you do get the chance to be on campus, keep in mind, it is a privilege to be where you are, and just take as much advantage of it as possible. Just don't be as stupidly academically focused as I did. Even if you do end up getting the reward of getting into a good college, it will not be worth giving up on the Woodstock experience. So get out there if you can.
I would say Woodstock's a period of time in your life. Don't hang on to it too much more than it needs to be there. It's a part. When it finishes, appreciate it for what it was, but accept that you're done and accept your new life. And also, I'm not sure, when I was in Woodstock, I didn't really make a lot of mistakes, but I think make mistakes. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up.
Sunil, I just want to say that I think Woodstock has probably had the same effect on all of us. I mean, those who have left Woodstock. So I just want to say, I think the best way to adapt to change is go out of Woodstock with no expectations, you know. And I think live for the day. And because for me, like I was saying, that be ready for things that are going to be not like Woodstock. Because for me, when I left Woodstock, I was trying to look for Woodstock even after leaving Woodstock, but I couldn't find it for 3 years until I realized that, hey, Woodstock's never going to leave me, you know, no matter where I go and how long it's been since I've graduated. But the fact that Woodstock will always be in your heart. So I think the best way to do is adapt to change and go without expectations and live for the moment and move forward.
My advice for a student is when you're writing your essay, your college essay, or before you send your application, close your eyes for like 15 minutes, lay under the sun, think about your life, think what you have done, think what you're gonna do, and then go back to your work. Just like enjoy the moment. Don't get caught up in all of this.
So good. Thank you all. Thank you so much. If I could have you in all of our senior summer arts classes every week, I would, because I think you all just really embody all the things that we really spend almost every meeting we have every day trying to convey to our kids. And so thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out of your experiences, out of your days, your work days. I know Rohan Kumar, you're at work right now in different time zone. Khaled, Tariqa, Jerry, Asma, Rohan, you all are great. And thank you again for joining us tonight. Adi, if you have any closing words, and Ms. Anshul, and then we will say good night or good day.
I just want to say that we were very lucky to have a very supportive and participative alumni community. You just have to ask them, and they're always there to kind of, just come back and do things with us, and like participating in this session. So thank you very much. Asma, you made a very, very good point about Woodstock Alumni Connect. I think I'll be in touch with you to maybe get a testimonial that we can put up to convince other alumni to get on board. Thanks for that.
Sure. Yes. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today and sharing your experiences and sharing great information. It was actually a pleasure to have you all on board, and I'm confident that it was a great experience for you as well. Thank you so much.
And feel free to reach out to us. I know you're in touch with Adi quite often, but feel free to reach out to us in College Counseling if you ever want to come in to like a homeroom and lecture our kids, all the things. We're happy to have you. So again, have a good night, and wishing you all well in these trying times.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Thank
See
you.
you all.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.